Oh, I don't need my mic this time. I forgot to set up my cam, but that's okay. We'll just do it like this for now. All right, so welcome, folks. We are running a little late, but we got everything situated, and we have a special guest, Luba, on here. We're going to have her tell her story. So let's get started. Let me just make sure I got the Facebook and everything else going, and then we will begin.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for giving me time. No, this is tragedy of my life. I mean, I live in Britain for 25 years, and 5 years. I'm going with my family, my daughter, we're going through hell, you know, and it started 5 years ago when my daughter went to live to supported accommodation. That was advertised on our local newspaper, and brochure sounds ideal. It's promised so much. We were so excited, looking forward to meet people, community, but it's never happened. What we come across, it's overbearing attitude and overbearing, ignorant, carelessness. I mean, so much harm and damage been done. And I'm just in shock. I just cannot understand why people will behave like that. Openly abuse my daughter with medications that got adverse reaction. I mean, I'm going tomorrow, today, it's today now, to protest with just to show, because you know, this is just one example list of medication that my daughter been on. I mean, it's a multiple laxatives here. Honestly, I've been vilified and persecuted for giving my daughter one small 5 meals syrup spoon of syrup of figs, natural syrup of figs. But what doctors doing? Multiple laxatives they put her on, you know, and she's been abused with psychiatric drugs. Drugs that got adverse reaction and side effects. I mean, this is again example, only one example, but there is a court case that is sorry.
Oh, you're okay. You're okay. I know you're going through a lot. So why do you tell our viewers how all of this started? Like, what happened? What was the initial thing that happened that led them to take your daughter? And why don't you tell our viewers how
nobody took my daughter? Nobody took my daughter. We went to the supported accommodation.
I have a question real quick, Luba. What is support accommodation for like the viewers that aren't familiar with that term? Is that like a cost of living? Is that, go ahead.
Supported accommodation. It was beautiful actually. It was brand new development, 4.2 million development. 12 flats and 12 houses, bungalows, 24, it's for 24 people, for 24 residents. And my daughter chose beautiful flat with garden, big garden, and it's beautiful. We made so much efforts, it's beautiful. She's my only daughter, but things went horribly wrong. I found myself all the time cleaning after stuff, and they was just pleasing themselves. They was careless with their stuff, and no, I mean after 3 years living there, she lost so many items, so many, all her furniture was damaged. I mean, I don't know what they did there. They was just damaging, harming her health. It's just unbelievable. And it went day after day after day, and I started to complain. And after 10 months of my complaints, nearly a year of my complaints, I was served with court of protection. Would you believe?
What is the court of protection for our viewers in case they don't know?
Court of protection.
Yes.
No,
it may be similar to a protection order here.
Okay, gotcha.
You were restrained from seeing your daughter. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, so that would be your guys' counterpart to ours.
Protection was initiated against me. That my daughter lacks capacity, despite that her capacity was assessed and she was found mentally capable by doctor. We made a power of attorney document. This is legal document was made legally, you know, but taken illegally from me by this court of protection. So my daughter opened, left without any support, without any help, and been abused. I made how to say, a lot of leaflets tomorrow I will give. And here very, very short that mental capacity act 2005 was completely ignored in this court of protection, simply to protect the abuses of social services and local authorities. This is what happened.
Okay. What is your daughter's mental? What is her condition that they ignored? What is it that makes her did not have the capacity that you're talking about that they ignored? What is her diagnosis? That's what I'd like to know.
She suffered from meningitis
Okay.
about 13 years ago, and she had sort of nervous breakdown. So we asked for doctor, and she was. Eventually struggled to get attention, and then eventually they put her in hospital and put her on antipsychotic risperidone. It's never worked perfectly for her. She was on it about for 3 years, and then she decided to stop, and she went back on it, but it did not work. But
did they use the bacterial meningitis and diagnosis as an opportunity to kidnap her? Is basically is that what happened?
She was diagnosed with schizophrenia. They put diagnosis for her schizophrenia.
Okay.
And
sounds like medical kidnapping.
That's what it sounds like to me too.
Yeah.
So like what they do commonly with here in the States with these cases, they'll do a mental health evaluation and they'll say, oh, well, this person has mental health issues, and then they take the kids based on that false justification.
That's right. That's right. This is exactly what's happened. You know, they said that she lacks capacity, that she lacks capacity. They took me to court. That they accused me even with sexual relationship with my daughter. Would you believe?
Oh my goodness.
They're accusing you. They're going that far. That's ridiculous.
It is so horrible. I was so no. First of all, I received this court paper on Saturday, and on Monday I was standing in court, accused with all these lies. I cannot find my way home. I mean, I sat on a metro and I went backwards and forwards, and then next day I went to MP. my MP, to say, look, it's what's going on, but I lost my voice. I cannot even speak because I was so stressed out, and in the end, I thought, okay, if court will soon realize what's going on, but
they never did they?
What happened? It went out of control altogether. It's went out of control altogether. It's code been used like a bullet, to punish vulnerable.
Yes.
Yep.
This is what happened.
It's become a weapon, a political weapon, basically, is what it's become. They're kidnapping kids, and they're racketeering is basically what they're doing with our kids.
It's commonly called a silver bullet.
That's right. That's right.
I didn't know that.
Human Rights Act is constantly ignored in mental health patients, and I can list articles 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 14, plus Protocol 1, Article 1, 2, 3. And I mean, I write all these statements, I write all these articles. There is law, but nobody takes any notice. I'm writing to all of the regulating authorities. I mean, here is 3 ombudsmen, social care, health and social care ombudsman, local government and social care ombudsman, legal ombudsman, and I'm writing to all of them, and they are ignoring, finding excuses not to investigate. CQC, Quality Commission, got legal duties because my daughter had been sectioned and under Mental Health Act. And the CQC got legal duty to monitor, investigate. They never did. 5 years. 5 years they ignored, never and nobody investigate anything, nobody doing anything about. And here we are, no help, no support, on my own. My husband is 73 years old. He's been working for this country for more than 50 years. We spent all our savings, I mean, his private pension, that's been working for us very well, on top of our, his, what it called, state pension. We was getting good pot of money that been working for us, and suddenly it's all gone, because prices, you go to solicitor and they charge you just ridiculous amount. I changed 5 solicitors. I changed 5 solicitors and 3 barristers, and I've got no answers, no progress, nothing at all. With one barrister, I was for 4 months. For 4 months, with one of the barristers, I was only 4 months. She never produced any statement for me. She never wrote anything. Never did for me anything. She was ignoring my emails, not answering to me, and charged £10,000 for 4 months. Of course, soon all of the money was gone. Now I'm on legal aid.
Yeah, they're using that as they're draining people dry is what they're doing.
Now I have a question. So the solicitor, that is like an attorney that represents you in court, right? Is that correct?
We've got not even attorney.
But it's okay. So
what went on in truth? Yes, they should appoint attorney because they took my power of attorney from me. It's illegally. Because they took it illegally.
They took your power of attorney away from you illegally.
Okay, now I get it. Okay, now I get okay, so now I see the bigger picture. So you were okay, now this is starting to make sense. So because just the different language and different words that we use here, I'm trying to translate it, to help, because I
think
really
that's great, because
clear.
we do have counterparts to what
Yes.
you're talking about. We're not familiar with
Yes.
all the ones you guys got over there, so we're trying to
Yes.
put the pieces together. But what we're saying,
So
what you're
that's-
saying lines right up with what
Yes.
we have going on over here.
Absolutely. It's just the clarification. And I do remember seeing solicitor because I am part, I do have a few different groups in the UK that I talk with, and that's actually how I met Luba and everything. And so I'm trying to learn both your guys' terms and our terms, so it's a lot easier because so it's okay. Yeah, so I'm just trying to kind of be the person to help.
Yeah, definitely. We appreciate that, Jen.
Thank you.
And that's why you're welcome. You're welcome. So we're following, and I was just curious because we have attorneys, or probably similar to your solicitor, that are court ordered. That we ask the court.
Court-appointed attorney is what she's talking about.
Yeah,
we call them public defenders over here.
Yes, public defenders.
Because they took power of attorney from me. They did not appoint anybody. They just please themselves what they did. They still doing. They still bullying. It's just bullies. Yes. When I requested what it's called, tribunal, because as a nearest relative, I wanted to challenge doctors' prescriptions, because he've been abusing my daughter. And
right. And why should any parent want their kids pumped full of pharmaceuticals, especially in this day and age?
Like here, if you ask for a second opinion, boom, your kids can get snatched that second. So it's pretty similar here in the United States. Yeah,
we're having the same issues here, and it's Jody, would you like to just briefly give everybody a summary on the AFCC and what it is, so that we can tie all this together? Because I know that we talked about previously, the AFCC was an international organization, and that's we believe to be the one pulling the strings behind a lot of these things going on in multiple countries with the family court systems.
Did you just say daddy?
I did. I want you to tell our viewers briefly about the AFCC, what we uncovered about them a couple months back, and how we were talking about that. We think this is an international issue, so we can tie it all together.
Within, like, the AFCC is like the cabal within family court. Like, they're the ones behind the scenes, like, running everything. They're making all the rules, the laws, like the terminology, that they use, like, in the best interest of the child. That's one of their little coin phrases.
Yes, they say, but it's nothing.
They're international, so they're in what was it, 29 other countries or something like that.
Yeah, that we suspected that this was an international issue, and what you're telling us with your story confirms that it is indeed the case. So this confirms what we suspected. What does the AFCC stand for again, Dottie, for our viewers?
Let me think. Hold on. Something family. I'll have to look it up. I forget. I always call it the AFCC. I don't ever think about it. It's coalition. Something family.
It's the Association of Family and Conciliation Courts.
Yes, that's it. I always just call it the AFCC. I don't.
But anyways, Luba, they are an international organization. But go ahead, Dottie. I'll let you take over and tell her about it.
It was started with a Supreme Court judge, and they've just grown and grown, and they basically are the ones that is orchestrating all of the kidnappings, basically, with our kids, because they work with doctors too and psychiatrists, and they put out these news articles and they write these news whatever and these findings, and they just, all of it could be bullshit for all we know, because they're just working together to create this mass money-making machine through every
money-making machine. That's right. But probably
and destroying families at the same time. Just destroying. That's basically. So it's evil. It's really evil stuff going on. I call it the back court. So it's the back court that's taking and making all these decisions before you ever even step into court. They're making these decisions way beforehand.
They've already decided what they're going to do, and then they had, it's almost like they have cookie cutter templates of documents ready to go, that, and they're committing fraud, and a lot of it, they're being really sloppy about it. Here in the States, they've been really sloppy about it, but they've ignored all the evidence in the family court regarding Angie's case and several others, multiple others. But so we're seeing the same thing. You said that they're not looking at the evidence, they're ignoring it. Did you not,
also goes
Luba?
into government funding. They get lots of government funding.
Yeah.
It is scary. It is scary what's going on.
It's very scary.
I cannot express. They torturing my daughter with drugs that upset her condition in the past and was discontinued. And they reintroduced it again and kept her on these drugs for years, you know. And my daughter is crying for help and crying for help. But they took telephone of her, discriminating against disabled girl. Took telephone, she cannot even call for help. And we've got 2 phone calls per week, 2 phone calls. And when she trying to say to me, Mom, I don't feel very well, it's serious, I've got heart problems, and they terminating phone calls, they interrupting, you cannot speak. It's
I saw that
order.
on that video you had when they said say goodbye when you were trying to call them out, and you said, shall I call 999?
But hundreds
I've
of
seen that
videos.
video that you shared on your timeline. Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Her daughter.
I've got hundreds of videos like that. You know, they discriminating against disabled girls. They abusing her.
They are.
And then they demanded to enjoy our conversation. My daughter is crying for help. I mean, and they demanding to be positive. I mean, look what she's shouting.
Like I'm an animal.
They're treating me like an animal. Listen, just a moment. I will put again.
What they say?
Listen,
Like I'm an animal.
like I am an animal.
Oh wow.
Doesn't she also say that like they're trying to kill me or something in another one?
Why they keep quiet? Why they not reacting? Why they not answering? Ask them questions. Why they behave? Why are not reacting? I'm in pain.
And they just ignoring. This is in hospital.
Say this in English, Ella. They can't even think what's going on. They just think it's mental. When it's physical, I can feel it's physical.
She's got heart problems. She's disabled girl. You know, she's crippled. Her foot is crippled.
Can I go ahead and play for our viewers that clip that you have that I was just talking about, where you said, shall I call 999? And then they said, say goodbye. Can I play that for our viewers? All right.
Yeah, cool. Please. Yes, please.
All right.
Yes, please.
I want our viewers to see what you're talking about, because I've seen it myself, and you're right on the money. They're doing the same thing to you.
How can it be that even psychiatrists?
Right.
Алло, солнышко мое, привет. Привет, моя хорошая.
Мама, эти люди сказали, что убьют меня.
You suffering? Маленькая моя.
Мам. Ну ладно, я, наверное, позвоню тебе в другой день. Мне слишком плохо.
You don't feel very well. I feel so bad, she said. I cannot even keep up conversation. Because
go ahead and translate for our viewers for that section, because I know that was in that first part was not in English. So what was she saying on the phone to you there?
She said, I feel so bad, Mom. I cannot even keep up conversation. I saw her last week. She cannot sit down. They overdrug her, and she cannot even relax. She's standing, Mom, I don't feel very well. I need a doctor. And they standing and laughing.
Wow. That's so horrible.
What you laughing at? You know what you laughing
right.
at? And I've got recordings. And then they say, Luba, no, Ella never said that she's not happy. And Ella sitting here saying, I don't want to be there, Mama, they are killing me. I said, listen what my daughter's saying. But
Let's continue
they're
the
just
video.
liars. They
This
are
is
liars.
horrible. This is ridiculous.
This is very horrible.
You know, it is unacceptable. Hello.
You don't have to speak.
Hello. Hello.
Mama,
Interrupting all the time.
can we wait till Tuesday because I don't feel very well.
Маленькая моя. Эля, you don't feel very well every time you phone me. I just don't know what's going on. And I mean, Эля.
Listen,
Mm.
so
Go ahead. Or are you going to say something, Luba?
I just degree of distress she's suffering.
I can tell just the tone of her
distress.
voice. You can tell she's in distress.
For hours on end. I mean, how can this, and everybody happy, they saying that they are happy with her treatment. They saying, social worker saying that she is stable.
Yeah, they're lying out their ass, obviously.
She's crying for help. She's saying, Mom, I've been screaming for hours on end, and they just ignoring me. I don't want to be here. I mean, degree of distress. Listen.
Okay, I'm going to play the rest of this video, which will show exactly the kind of tactics they use when she tries to call them out.
I mean, degree of distress.
speak on Tuesday.
You don't feel very well. You cannot even cannot even speak.
Yes, that's right.
What's happening? Tell me, please. How you've been yesterday?
Yesterday was better than today.
Why you did not go on your internet? I noticed you haven't been on your page for a couple of days. Are you not well or what?
Yes, I'm not well at the moment.
They keep her unwell all the time, up and down, up and down. What she saying, Эля?
Они говорят, ты не просила интернет.
You did not ask for internet, but why you not feeling well? Why you so unwell? And what they doing about this? Shall I phone 999, Elia? Shall I phone 999? Huh? Why you will end a phone call when my daughter is not well?
Say goodbye, Ella. Say goodbye. Bye.
Elia, you see what they're doing? You see what they're doing? You see what they're
That's
doing?
horrible. They're ending the phone call when you're calling them out on their bullshit. That's
Now,
so
what
messed up.
What was
Yo,
she saying?
Disabled girl, crying for help for years now, and everybody ignores, court ignores, all these regulating authorities, they just not fit for purpose, they ignoring everything. And what can I do? And then they said, court order, I will go for 5 years to prison if I go public.
Wow. Yeah, they're using the same tactics. Dottie, why don't you tell Luba what they're trying to do to you and to silence you?
They're trying to give me up to 7 years to silence me for tampering with a judicial officer for an email because I spoke up. Me and my daughter spoke up and spoke out, and I haven't seen or spoke to my daughter in over a year now because of the courts.
They're trying to unlawfully prosecute her for an email when all she said in the email was just to the judge was, you've stepped way over the bounds of immunity for a judge. I demand accountability. And all she meant was legally speaking, that accountability, because this judge took her daughter and told her daughter, basically, if you don't go with your dad, I'll put your mom in jail. So you'll have to go with your dad. And after she begged her not to send her back with her dad because she had stated that he had molested her, basically. And so that judge, when Angie sent that email, they're trying to use that email as, oh, you threatened the judge. And so they're making this big old scene about it, trying to prosecute her criminally now to try and silence her. They're trying to give her 7 years. for email that
Sounds
was
like
completely benign.
the judge just sent her for, it was like, she just said, I guess it was a threat to him to be accountable, huh?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Doesn't make sense, does it?
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
It's a war on the children is what it is. It's what they're doing. It's a war.
And what's so sickening about it is for them to put an order of protection or protection order, however you want to put it, they're trying to protect the person that's trying to protect their child. They're not doing anything but protecting their wallets, protecting their bank accounts, feeding this evil machine.
That's right. I agree. I agree.
I call this the evil empire incorporated. That's from one country to the other country to the next country to the.
It's international.
We are all connected by the money or the commodities that they get from our children. When we see our children, we see love, future, happiness. They see dollar signs, greed, money.
Exactly. That's all they see now.
More.
I mean, they say absolute power corrupts, absolutely, and we're seeing that the epitome of that example play out in real time. Unfortunately, they're going after our kids, but hey, we see that at least we know now who the enemy is, right? At least we know now who's behind, who's complicit, who's not. You know, at least the last couple of years have given us that much, and that's a good leg up in this fight for us to get accountability and justice finally.
Thank you for exposing it. Thank you, because this is what's needed.
Yeah, but thank you for sharing your story, because without all you guys coming, all you victims of this coming out to speak out, and I don't like to use the word victims. The name Sacred Lavisa stands for, it means loud warrior. So we kind of like went with that because we're all speaking out, especially all these other people that have been affected by this, such as Jen, Angie, Liz, and many others that are on the team. We're basically Lavisas. We're loud warriors. So
we need come together. We need come together.
Yes.
And go to European court. We need to stop this, because this is
gone
crime.
too far. It's gone too
Crimes,
far.
It is, and cruelty of it all. I
can't even. How can these bastards do this to somebody else's kid and then go home to their own kids and be okay with themselves? How can they do that?
It's what I asked them in court. I said, how you can sleep at night?
Right.
After what they're doing. Honestly, it's horrible what's going on. It's the
true travesty of our time is what it is, and the true tragedy of our time. That's what's going on, and
it is.
And like you say, I could never imagine that I would be here today 2 years ago, where I'm at today, especially with what happened with all those ridiculous mandates, so to speak, which is complete bull. It was all fraud. We know this now. But I've seen that over the last 2 years, a lot of people have also gotten woken up because of it. And it's really made a lot of people aware. And I think it's actually backfired on them in a lot of ways. And we're seeing all this stuff come out and get exposed now because they're not hiding it. They're being sloppy about it now.
No, let's hope. I was busy this week. And what I did, I said to you, you remember we was planning to meet up last week, but I postponed because I heard about one document. It's form. It's called affidavit form. I don't know, and I've been working on it this week. I sent it to Attorney General.
Okay.
This is form which you can fill in and
kind of like some of the templates we got for over here, huh, Angie?
Huh?
As it sounds very similar to some of the templates that a lot of these other people that have been affected by this are working with to fight back, like court forms and stuff. Yeah, we got a lot of the same kind of forms out here too that we're using as well to try and fight back.
Because I've been complaining, but everybody ignores my complaints.
Right.
And someone suggested to do this form, and it's supposed to have more weight. Because I did this on a Bible. I sworn on a Bible, and hopefully, I just hope that it will be investigated. And what I said here, that this is a sworn affidavit.
Sworn affidavit. Okay.
Yeah, giving a brief explanation of all that has been wrong, falsified, misrepresented by, I will not say name of the council, because for legal reasons.
Yeah, of course.
It's all happened in a court of protection, and which is still going on after 4 years, which is having a detrimental effect on the claimant's daughter and her mental and physical well-being. I demand a full and transparent inquiry into the statement and evidence produced by the defendants that resulted in a court of protection under judgment, the name of judge, and that are fraudulent, misleading, unsafe, and a breach of the claimant's human rights. And it
sounds a lot like the federal lawsuit forms we got out here that people are using to fight back, doesn't it, Angie? You there?
Taking it back to natural law.
Natural law.
Or common, or what's more commonly referred to as common court law.
The problem is that law is not law. Is they're ignoring the law in this court of protection.
They're acting under what we call out here color of law, and the definition of color of law means illegal law. Illegal. They're racketeering. They're doing, but yeah, they're not operating under what's supposed to be operating under, which is common law. Which is based on precedent, previous historic example of, certain case files and stuff. That's how it's supposed to be done, but they're not operating under that at all. They're operating under color of law. I don't know what term you guys have out there for that, but out here we call it color of law, which means illegal law.
I agree. It is illegal. What they're doing, it is illegal. It is illegal, and I've got here a case. I don't know. Hard evidence, completely ignored. Ignored.
Yep, out here too. It's all been ignored by all these, everything that these families of, these victims of the CPS family court corruption have gone through. It's all been ignored here too.
And they're not stopping. They're abusing. They're not stopping.
Oh yeah, they're just going off the rails, aren't they?
What you have to do? What can I do? Just expose now. I'm on a mission now. At least expose them, and hopefully more people will be aware and stop them, because they must be stopped. They
have to be stopped.
They're destroying people's life. I mean, kids' lives. My daughter had such a psychological trauma when it's all happened, and when they accused her that she got no mental capacity. It's traumatic. She was hysterical, because she understands everything, and they say, no, you've got no capacity, you are crazy, you are, and
they're using that to silence her.
Hysterical, and she became paranoid. She was saying, I've got here letters. I want to show them tomorrow, but I have to look for them. She wrote to policeman. That she'd been kidnapped, but she was kidnapped. This is the truth. She was saying to policeman, writing letters, and how many letters she wrote to doctors and to the court, and they saying that she got no capacity.
Do you remember when they stole your power of attorney?
Power of attorney. What happened with power of attorney? They employed supposed to be independent psychiatrist. He is not independent at all because he is working for our local council on a regular basis.
Right, he's in their pocket.
What I found out. This consultant against Mental Capacity Act, because there is the law that mental capacity is time specific. He made opinion that 6 months before he met her, she lacks her capacity. This is against law. And based on this opinion, judge made a decision, and that they took a power of attorney, my power of attorney from me, and left her open to abuse. This is what's happened. They ignoring me, ignoring her, abusing her. This is what's happening. They just psychopath, because okay, I've been complaining, but there was reasons for complaining. It's not just I did it for the sake of it. There is evidence of neglect.
But they're acting like that. That's the case. That oh, there's nothing to see here. But yet, there's a whole lot that they're doing that nobody's looking at.
Yes, and being persecuted and punished for just trying to protect my daughter.
Right, you're being targeted because of it. Yeah.
Targeted. Yes, that's right. Targeted. It's very, very hard. It's very, very hard. But I'm so
only imagine what that must be like going through.
Determined. I will take my case to the European court. That's for sure. I mean, problem is I have to go through all of the courts here. Now I am in a higher court.
Yeah, you go from your local courts to your higher court. Yeah, the court that supersedes that one. Yeah, we're having to do the same thing out here. Out here, we're having to take everything to federal just to get justice in any way, shape, or form. And even that has been an uphill battle too.
Yes, that's right. It can take time, and they take their time. I mean, 4 years of I don't know what. It's bundles and bundles and bundles and bundles, statement, writing to regulating authority, to writing to the court, making statement. And my solicitors, I wrote statement, and English, my second language. I mean, it's not easy for me to. I have written. My husband is, I must say, he's my hero. He writes very short statements, but to the point. And I write long statements, and this is how it goes. And writing, and all this evidence and all these videos, and everybody ignores everything. Regulating authorities,
they're ignoring it all completely. It's like, oh, there's nothing to see here. They're pretending like it doesn't even exist.
It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's inhuman.
It almost seems like it's a coordinated effort from what almost like somebody else entirely that's outside of these because it's happening there, it's happening here. It seems like it's same thing with all the mandates and stuff from the last couple of years. It's like it's a coordinated lockstep. This is like there's a connection there that doesn't just happen naturally or organically. That happens only when you have coordination.
I agree.
It's been happening a very long time.
It's been happening for a very long time. I joined Facebook. I can't remember, about 1 year ago, and I'm glad that I joined. But what I found out, it's thousands of families being affected.
Possibly even millions. I mean, it's a whole bunch.
People killing themselves. Parents cannot handle it. It is very, very difficult to handle, because when your child is screaming for help and being ignored, she's been ignored, I've been ignored, and it's how it can be in her interests.
Right. Dottie, you want to tell our viewers how many children go missing every year just in the United States alone?
800,000.
800,000. That's 200,000 short of a million, folks. Yeah, every year that go missing without a trace. Where are they all going? What's happening to them? Why does nobody talk about it? That's a lot of kids, people. That's getting there close to a million.
Children, innocent children. It is horrible. It's just it's unbelievable, honestly. And when in Britain it's the same happening. Kids suffering. Look at these care homes. Kids going missing as well. Families destroyed. It's just genocide.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is. It's genocide.
It is. It is.
Go ahead, Dottie. What were you going to say?
I was just agreeing. It is genocide. Where are the 800,000 children? Where are they?
That's right. No, we have to bring them to account. We have to come together.
We have to, yeah. We have to hold them accountable. These bastards we can't allow this to happen any longer. We have to hold these bastards to account one way or the other, or die trying.
I agree.
Thank you so much, Luba, for coming on and sharing your story. We really appreciate it.
I don't know.
I know it's late there. I don't know if you want to stick around. We're going to be doing a little bit of a roundtable and back and forth discussion on this issue.
I need a little have a snooze.
I can imagine. That's why we had you go first, because I figured you'd probably be late in your day. So we'll let you go so you can get some rest. But we will be having on. We'd love to have you on again for a follow up. And if you'd like, I'd love to show our viewers all the documents and proof that you have. So if you are able to scan them, or you can just take a screenshot of them with your phone, send me over everything.
I've got a lot. I will show. I've got a lot more videos. I just cannot get around to it because I'm.
Yeah, I know. There's so much to do in so little time.
Writing.
Yeah, but whenever you get a chance, I would love to show our viewers. You don't have to send everything. Just send what you think is going to be the most important step to show.
We will be in touch. I will
Sounds
send everything what I have.
Thank you very much, Luba.
Hey, thank you. Let me give her a shout out real quick. Hey, Luba, thank you for posting your story on my Facebook timeline. I knew about, a little bit about it, and keep fighting, warrior. You're my fellow warrior. We'll get this. Yep. I look forward to doing a follow-up.
We have to be positive and trying to our best to make changes for the future of our kids, our generations. It's because it must be stopped. It's crime. It's crime of crimes. It's horrible, it's disgraceful. But thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much for giving me time, and we will be in touch. Thank you.
Very welcome. You're very welcome. So we have some news. I don't think Jaclyn's going to be able to make it. Her kids, I think her kid might be sick, and she might have to go take him to the ER. So we're going to reschedule that interview for another time. But we're going to do our roundtable discussion with everybody that's on the team here. Just kind of back and forth, give people updates on stuff, and go from there. And maybe even tell our viewers, Dottie, what we got coming up. What we went on the meeting for briefly just earlier about. You there, Dottie?
Yeah, I'm here. You want me to talk about that?
Yeah, just briefly, just tell our viewers what's coming up for your trial and what we need.
Well, we're still doing a protest press release on August 2nd in Clayton, Missouri. And then encouraging people to come sit in on my trial with Judge Zellweger. If they don't cancel it, we'll see. The attorney was asking for another pre-trial for some reason, the one they're trying to attach to me. So, but other than that, we're doing a protest also because of Elaine Blukowski. We don't want her in as a judge, you know. She's currently has a civil rights federal case right now she's involved in with fraud and corruption. So we definitely don't want her a judge in Missouri. That would be a slap in the face. So and then they have another rally coming up, and I don't remember the date. Do you?
I believe it was August 22nd.
August 22nd. Okay. And that was with across the river with Illinois and Missouri doing something together on the 20th.
Okay. Oh, wait, no, this one I believe is August 29th. Protest in Illinois State Capitol. Is that the one you're talking about?
Well, I thought they were
There's a couple of them they got coming up. They got one in Missouri and Illinois. Okay, yeah, I know it is 22nd of August protest. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's correct.
That's about it.
All right. Yeah, and we need court watchers for to show up and hold these bastards accountable. So they can't freaking Star Chamber her and get away with this shit. So we got some people already showing up.
Talking about doing
good luck, guys.
Thank you so much, but thank you for jumping on.
Good
We appreciate
luck.
it. We'll be in
Bye,
touch.
bye,
We'll
bye.
definitely have you on in the near future. Have a great night.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
They also mentioned some kind of phone campaign that day for people that are not in Missouri. So we'll look.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. We were gonna. Yeah, somebody had suggested that idea, and I think that's a great idea for people that are unable to make it to show their support digitally or virtually, so to speak.
Well, by calling there, I think it's a phone campaign they were talking about.
Okay, gotcha. So how does that work exactly? Then would you explain that?
I think it's a bunch of phone calls and asking questions. The hard
Oh,
questions.
I like that. Oh yeah, no, that's brilliant. That's
Yeah.
perfect. That's what we need people to do is to call in and ask questions, start putting pressure on them. Definitely need that.
And I think that's about all we talked about.
So yeah, we got a lot going on, folks. There's I noticed that we are
They also were talking about what's the attorney's name? She actually has a trial coming,
I can't remember.
what's it? Since Connie, they're gonna
Oh yeah, okay, Connie Regula, yeah.
for that. So I think they'll be doing something to help support her with that because she's in a scary position right now.
Yeah, they're trying to criminally prosecute her unlawfully as well, aren't they?
Yes.
And she's a lawyer, isn't she?
Yes.
That's scary.
Yeah. What's her last name? Siegel, something, Connie Siegel, maybe?
No, it's Connie Reguli.
Reguli, that's what it is. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
she has a court date coming up also.
yeah, I know everybody. Like a lot of people in this fight have got shit coming up where they're trying to be persecuted. I mean, just look at what we're seeing across the board. We're seeing that with the Lioubov. Obviously, she touched on that for a minute there about that, and then there, you're another example. What else? The Bowles family is another example. There's many similarities and patterns that match up with all these different cases that indicate that this is something that's being done and coordinated from the highest levels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't know, like you said, they're at that meeting that there's a lot of lawsuits coming out, but still not enough, until all the kids are saved, basically. But I'm really glad to see how many lawsuits that have come out.
Yeah, that's something. It's better than nothing. I mean, look where was at before. Like people are awake now and people are speaking out.
Right. So that's exciting. Let's just get more,
Yeah, we need to really make, rattle our sabers and make some noise, people. All of us. And if for our viewers, there's something you can do. Share these podcasts out. Share out as much as you can and everywhere you can. And that's one of many things that our viewers can do to help and to participate. And we encourage you to do your own due diligence. Look into these things. Start looking into stuff. The search engines that are available. There's the Brave search engine. I don't recommend DuckDuckGo or Google. And DuckDuckGo has been compromised. For those who don't know, So I recommend Brave or, an alternative browser. Google's useful to some extent because you have what's called Google Dorks and you can really specify your search parameters. But Brave also has this functionality I noticed as well. So Brave is a pretty good alternative to the big tech oligarchs that have taken over in recent years. This information is still out there. All one has to do is look. You still even find it if you dig deep enough.
Our stories are unique in certain areas, by nature or whatever you want to call are unique.
Right.
I lost that
They're
word.
unique in and of themselves in the particular details,
Yes.
but there's patterns that match up with a lot of
But there's unique and certain, and as everybody's unique. Nobody's like quite the same, but the outcome is similar in all cases. They have a similar I mean, it's because I've heard stories after stories that were similar to other stories. How we got here and the details are unique in its nature, but the outcome is completely alike.
I mean,
it's all the same. All the same outcomes.
It is the same. Child trafficking is part of the new world order.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I said it. And
it is. I've suspected as much since we started seeing all this ramp up to such a scale, and we all started speaking out against it. It's like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yes. Our children and future, well, I say that with hesitance because I don't know if we have a future because where are our children is
well, if we don't fight for our kids and hold these bastards to account, then we can guarantee we have no future.
What's going to happen when their playgrounds are empty? What's going to happen when the schools are empty? What's going to happen when we have no children left?
Right. What we need to start doing is we need to start withdrawing them from these institutions that are doing this, like these schools and stuff, and just boycott it, start homeschooling our kids. There's a lot of programs and ways we can subvert this. We don't have to freaking send our kids if we all withdraw our kids from these schools, they'll have no budget, period. And they'll be done and they'll have to close their doors and then we'll have to create something new. But we have the power to do so.
When it was all essential workers here, they were using that phrase very freely here in Indiana. School wasn't open, so school is not essential. Their public education is not essential.
Not the education they're trying to shove down our kids' throats anyway.
Oh gosh, no. That's what I mean. I mean, we learn more from doing things at home.
Right.
How many kids these days know how to change a tire? How many kids these days,
Right.
I don't remember anything that I learned in school other than I pledge allegiance to the flag or whatever, or to.
I don't even think they do that anymore.
No, or they
don't even teach cursive anymore.
Nope.
Why are they not teaching kids cursive? What could it be? Because they don't want them to read the U.S. Constitution? You think?
Oh, I never thought about it like that. That's a good point.
Think about these things, folks. Does it make any sense why they would do that other than if that was the reason? That's the only thing that makes any sense to me. And then what they're trying to shove, just look at what they've done in the schools the last couple of years. I mean, it's obvious there's a definite agenda they're trying to push. I
don't know about you guys, but I don't want my elementary child learning sex education.
No, thank you. Or here, stuff that's inappropriate. Like, what the hell are these people doing? And they're just and then they're trying to legalize it and normalize it. Are you fucking kidding me? Use my language, but I'm sure everybody feels the same way. All of us that are concerned about what's going on,
How can we not be angry? How can we not use language? Because I don't think just as similar. They've been doing bad things. I don't think bad even describes it.
Evil, straight downright pure freaking evil is more like it.
I mean, it's so demonic and just watch the symbols, become aware. It's just, and what you were saying that I didn't get a chance to comment on the whole pandemic, the one positive thing, because this family court nightmare of mine and CPS and child trafficking, all of that stuff connected has made me look into to find the positive in everything.
Yeah, it really has.
Everything. So what this to me, some of it, I mean, not all the mandates, don't get me wrong. I mean, it kind of was an opportunity to reset society and put everybody equally.
Right.
Like, you know,
but we're not talking.
that,
we're not at all
no,
indicating the big great reset or advocating that just
no,
for our viewers
no, no,
at
no,
all.
no,
But
no.
I get what you're saying
Okay.
though. Like it made us
not a
all, it
reset.
forced us all to reflect internally
Yes.
and get comfortable with
Yes.
being by ourselves, and we all
And
grew as a
also
result.
put us to stop and put the rat race on mute to see where we were going,
Exactly.
what we were doing. That's okay. So let me.
That's definitely, I agree. That's a positive. It did. It totally did.
Okay.
All those lockdowns, all they did was
Yes.
give people plenty of time to start digging and researching
Yes.
for themselves,
Yes.
and they started uncovering
Yes.
shit. And then parents that
Yep.
were watching their kids do these online schools started realizing, whoa, what are they teaching our kids? Like they started seeing what they were being taught for the first
Right.
time in decades, because now they know they were right there to watch. And it's like, and then people are starting to get hip to it, and that's why we have all these school board people speaking out at the school boards. That's why we have all this speaking out against the medical tyranny. That's why we have all this speaking out against the CPS family court corruption. It's all because of the lockdowns, because they thought it would break us, but all it did was inform us and make us stronger, so that when we come back, we're gonna fight. When we're gonna fight with all we got, and we're not gonna stop fighting until we win or either die.
And we're all becoming one army, and guess what? Thousands are gathering with us to join us every day.
Yes.
So yeah, that was a bad term. Reset was bad because of all.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted, because I could see where some readers might get a little confused there, but I just wanted to specify that's not what you were referring to.
No, I wasn't. No.
I knew exactly what you were talking about, though.
Okay, good. And then it also kind of put us in a position to make us to be families again.
Right. And it's got us. I think it's gotten us back in touch with our community, our sense of community too.
Yes, all of that. So that's what I mean. It just it gave us a chance to reflect on everything that we've been missing out on.
Right. Are we? I mean, I know we won't have a second guess. We can keep you going for a bit, you guys, or we can wrap it up. It's up to you guys. Whatever you guys want to do. So.
I'm game. I've got that good energy flowing. I can.
Well, let's just keep it going till 8 then, shall we? For another 30, if that's all right. If you guys are up for it. I mean, it's up to you guys though.
I'm good. How about you, Dottie?
I'm good.
Let's talk about the soapbox.
Oh, good idea. Let's tell our viewers what we got planned for that, you guys.
What are we talking about?
Your podcast that you created. Your soapbox, box.
We're gonna meditate the safety of our children. We're gonna get together. We're gonna collectively meditate, the well-being of our children and get them out of this mess. Why not, right?
That's what we're gonna do in the premiere episode, of course, right? But tell our viewers about what you created it for, and what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a place for you guys to heal, et cetera, et cetera. Tell them about that aspect of it too.
I don't know what you want me to tell them. You just told them.
Well, briefly, but tell them in your own words, because you're the one that made it.
Well, I'm gonna pick different things like to heal, different meditations, different like mantras and different things in that nature. Come together collectively, meditate and heal and change the future basically with our minds. Why not?
Right. And not only that, but it's going to be a great place for a lot of you. I don't want to use the word victim warriors. I don't like the word victim, but I'm just going to call us all. I'll call you guys all Lovisas for now, loud warriors, because I think that term is much more fitting. So all of our Lovisas to heal and kind of come together as a community for them to be able to talk amongst themselves and heal and share experiences and just get it off their chest and to be able to a place where they can go and talk and cry or whatever they got to do to get it off their chest. So that's specifically for all you CPS family corruption. Well, I don't want to say victims, but Lovisas, so to speak.
What was the number? It was 13 women, and each woman had to get what was it, 8 women to help come and meditate with us to get,
I think something like that, to get the 10% 100 monkey syndrome. So
that it just becomes reality after the 100, you know, monkey.
Right.
But, you know, they have done what's the word I'm looking for?
Studies, research.
They've done collective meditations before, and they have raised the vibration of the whole entire planet when they've done these collective meditations.
Oh yeah, no, totally. I've seen the data on that. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to talk about. What are the data?
And then isn't it like
Uh-huh.
I could connect to you from where I'm at, and then it's like we are across, like, you know, the two states,
right?
Or something like, yeah.
Because I heal, you heal, because we're all connected.
Right.
You know, as within is
Right.
without. You know, so
Yes.
if I'm healing, you're healing. You're doing healing without even knowing it, in a way.
Yes. Yes, and that goes back to that self-healing that we were.
Hey, I put up, I sent in the chat, Dottie, the AFCC net PDF that we ripped from what was it, from Kindle couple months back. Would you like to screen share and show our viewers and go through that briefly so they can understand what we talked about earlier when we were tying in her case, Blue's case with the AFCC?
For that.
Is it too slow for that? I'll do it.
You're gonna have to do that.
All right, I'll do it.
You know it's too slow for that. I'm gonna get the other computer fixed up.
All right, can everybody see my screen okay?
Yes.
All right, cool. You want, I'm going to have you go ahead and read it though, and kind of briefly give our viewers just an overview after we go through this just briefly. I want them to get a basic.
What are we going to read about it?
Just kind of tell them about it briefly. What this author is Doreen Ludwig. This was copyright 2020. She came out with this book, and she's basically exposing the AFCC as the international organization that's making all these rules and laws regarding the CPS family court corruption. Basically, isn't that the rundown on it?
She also connects it with a lot of like funding, like the Title IV.
There we go. Yeah. Okay.
Funding, whatever the different fundings for the, you know, child support and all, you know, all the different ways they make money off our children. You know, because they say follow the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you
she's basically proving racketeering through the grant money, basically.
Basically, yes.
You know, PAS. Okay, can you stop PAS? Is that parental
alienation syndrome? She talks about it and how it's one of their agendas, you know.
Right. Okay. Evolution. Oh, how interesting. Social. Okay.
And we will put this this PDF in the description for our viewers too, so they can check it out themselves.
Now, does it have any mention about the international places such as Maximus or?
I'm not sure. I haven't read through this entirely yet.
She mentions a bunch of organizations. Like she ties a lot of stuff together.
Because Maximus, they internationally they go to these different places that in order to discuss what they should set their child support to get the maximize the amount of profit.
Oh yeah, no, I think she does talk about this in one of the later chapters.
Okay,
I think it is in here.
I'm gonna read the first page of chapter 1 for our viewers, because I think just this first paragraph, even in and of itself, says a lot. AFCC is a trade association that commandeered family court legal standards and processes. The new family court is a system where the judiciary and an outside platoon of practitioners work collectively as friends, business associates, to assess and direct cases to off the record, out of the public eye processes designed to manage child custody disputes. AFCC's business model depends on the interplay of family court operators. Judges and court employees, lawyers, and mental health practitioners, called service providers, perform numerous overlapping roles: mediator, custody evaluator, parent coordinator, parent educator, and counselor. Researchers and academics create a foundation to justify court-ordered intrusion of these service providers in disputes that arise out of divorce and support litigation. AFCC renamed litigation conflict. Facts are hidden and reinvented in the confines of an appointee's office. So basically, they're doing this behind the scenes, folks, star chambering and everything, and you know, basically colluding to already decide the outcome of how things are going to go, so they can make money through the grant money. AFCC's business model is built on the false assumption that legal and mental health practitioners can facilitate harmonious joint parenting arrangements held together by judicial orders. All right, so that's the first page, you guys, of that. And there's so much more here, and I encourage our viewers to read it for themselves. We're going to put it in the description after the live. So yeah, it's very important information everybody should know. What else were we going to talk about briefly? We talked about the AFCC, how that tied into Lioubov, and I just briefly went over that with our viewers. What else? Something else we're going to touch on. I can't remember what it was. Do you remember?
I do not.
Dang. All right.
Did you talk to me about it?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't know either.
That sounds like a back court, or their secret courts, or their
yeah. Well, they're doing that behind closed doors, colluding in the judges' chambers before anything's ever even heard, and they already know the outcome. They already
international
the outcome.
Right, but this is like an international.
Oh, I know what it was. I was going to play that video you just sent. What is that, anyways? In the chat.
The box. I was making you told me to make something for the box. That was
all right. Cool. Can I go ahead and play it for our viewers?
It's not done.
It's not done.
No.
Well, can I play it anyway, just so they can see what the artwork you put into it? Because I think it's really good.
Seen it.
Oh, I like this. This is nice. It's not done, but it's good. It's good. I like it. Holy shit. This is really good. Cool.
She's in a bubble.
Right? Because sometimes, you just got to be in a bubble.
I love it.
It's awful slow.
Like being in the womb.
No, it's perfect. You should use that for podcasting. How in the hell is my internet connection unstable? I've got high-speed freaking internet. Quit throttling my connection, Cox cable, bastards. Sorry.
We feel like a bunch of angry. We are. Revolution.
Viva the revolution.
We're not gonna take it.
No, we're not gonna take it, are we? No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore.
We'll fight. Okay.
Well, I want to give a shout out to my beautiful fiance who is watching and listening to our broadcast, and tell her how much I love her and how much I miss her and how much I can't wait to see her in a couple of weeks. And I hope she's still awake. Are you awake?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, there you are.
Hey.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I just wanted to surprise you there and tell you how much I love you on the air.
No, I almost fell off the bed trying to get to my phone, but I'm here.
Oh, it's all right. I've done the same thing before. Trust me. It was a great show, great interview. But yeah, so basically that proved the connection with the AFCC and everything. What we suspected was going on, and it's like with what Lioubov said, it just basically boom, 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 lines right up with what we have going on here. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah, no, her story was interesting. It's sad. It's a really sad story, but it was interesting because it's a little bit different than some of the other stories we've heard. It's got its own little plot to it, which was kind of because her daughter's an adult, huh?
Right, I believe so.
Right.
Yeah, she is an adult. Yes,
but
and
so they basically kidnapped an adult. Like this is so this is kind of like the guardians, with the seniors, the elderlies.
Yeah, the Adult Protective Services, APS.
Wait, did you hear that they legally took her power of attorney?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. So they legally stole that from her in order to do all these things to her daughter.
Yeah, I know. It's
because,
it's
and that's something a little different than a little bit of a twist, but it's kind of coming from the same evil empire incorporated. You know what I mean?
Same thing. It's same They're using the same tactics. So it's definitely clearly coordinated. And I would suspect the AFCC is a big part about what's behind that.
They are. I would.
But I would imagine it doesn't end there. I would imagine it goes even higher.
it probably goes even deeper, deep to the rabbit hole, deep. You know, we just opened up another rabbit hole. But I wasn't familiar with her entire story, but wow, she's a powerhouse, you know.
Yeah.
She's
been documenting, getting the evidence. She just wants to
yes,
expose these bastards as badly as you guys do,
she does. She's
badly as all of
very.
us do.
I'm so glad that she posted. I mean, I knew a little bit about it in some of the groups that I had watched, and I've I heard about that. But once she pasted her story on my timeline, I was like, yes, are you ready? Are you willing? And she said, yeah. So sometimes I don't want to just try to seem like I'm hunting for different stories, but we need
No,
all the
you're doing great. I really appreciate that because
we
you're
do.
following up on leads that for interviews, and that's perfect.
Yes.
That's what I need you guys to do. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I see myself or envision myself like I'm kind of like a connection, a translator between different
Yeah, well, yeah, because you got like
places,
you got Canadian, you got dad that's Canadian
Canada,
citizen, and then you got a lot of people that you
yes,
talk to in the
yes,
UK, so you can bridge that
yes,
gap. That's perfect.
Scotland, and there's somebody else from Scotland that's gonna do a story.
Any word on whenever
soon.
he's ready? When he's ready? When
I don't know.
he feels
I'll
like he'll be
see.
ready for that?
I mean, I'll see.
'Cause I know we've been
when
trying to get him on for a while now.
yes, and I do have some screenshots. I do have some court documents that I'm gonna ask for his permission for me to release them, and
Of course, yeah.
you know what I'm saying. Just
Yeah, of course. Well, we always ask. We never
yes,
release anything without the permission of the
no,
interviewees who they belong to. We always run it by them, and we respect their privacy and their anonymity, and we want to
yes,
emphasize on that. We can totally keep you anonymous, and you don't have to put your name out there. I'm just gonna say it. I use a pen name myself. For those who don't know,
right,
to protect my immediate family from any kind of targeting, and and so that
retaliation.
The point being. We want to hear your stories. We want to hear you speak out. We need people speak out in mass. We need that so badly right now, because the only way we're going to get any kind of justice or change is public outcry and public demand, and that's the way to do it, people.
True stories.
If you're listening, you are the resistance.
Yes, we are the media. We have the power. We need to take it back.
Exactly.
Yesterday, not just in one, two,
Yeah, not
people.
today, not tomorrow. We needed to do it yesterday.
Everybody, like years ago.
Yeah,
absolutely. We have to take it back.
They're
because we're not going to get any truth out of the
well.
media. We're not going to get any, the mainstream media anyway. That's why why people like me and others who have started covering these issues through their podcasts, we are now like we're covering it because nobody else will. Nobody else will. And we're not going to sit around and wait for change and wait for the mainstream to get their act together, because we know it ain't going to happen. It's up to us here and now.
Nobody is going to save us. We are supposed to save ourselves.
We have to save ourselves, people. We have to stop waiting around for people to come and rescue us. It's never going to happen. That's part of the conditioning you've been led to believe to keep you in this constant state of fear and prevent you from solving your own problems. We all have the capability and the ability to think critically, but we have to stop living in fear. When we're in fear, that part of our brain is paralyzed and shuts down. We're in fight or flight survival mode. We have to step outside of survival and learn to spot when we're being gaslighted into fear and an emotional reaction, because a lot of the time that's what the mainstream media uses to keep us in that state of fear, and people don't realize that they're not thinking, they're reacting. And so you have to take a step back and realize, okay, something's not right about this. Why am I so mad about this all the time? Well, take a step back and try to really look at objectively what they're doing to people. Think about why would they be trying to gaslight you? Could it be because they're trying to hide something? So, for those that still follow the mainstream media, that's fine. I always like to see what the other side is doing, so I can catch them in a lie anytime, and that's always a good reason for keeping tabs on them. I know people in my local community that I've talked to that I've woken up. They told me, "Well, yeah, I just check out CNN to see what lies they're telling me today, so I know what to expect tomorrow." So I mean, people are waking up, and it's a beautiful thing to see occur in my lifetime, you know.
Right. I agree.
Catherine, would you like to come on and put in a couple your 2 cents on just on that on the whole fact of people waking up? Your thoughts on that? I mean, you don't have to, but I would like for you to if you're feeling up to it.
I just, the only thing that I do want to chime in on is just how you guys just work together and complement each other so well. Like where one of you ends, the other begins. And you guys have a really good thing going. And I'm just glad that I got to be a part of the show and listen in and see you guys work, because it's really incredible what you guys do. You guys all have so much to offer, like individually and together as a whole. You guys are a very empowering movement right now. And I just want to say thank you.
Oh,
You're welcome, babe. I appreciate that, and you're part of this
Wow.
movement too, you know. So
Thank you. You gave me
you are
shivers
part of
when
the
my ears
team.
stood up. Wow. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
That was
That was
deep.
beautiful. That was a
That
great
was-
way to.
Wow.
I think that's a great
that
way
was-
to wrap up the show. What do you guys think?
I think
Yes.
it's beautiful.
You're welcome anytime.
Yeah, and I would love for you to participate on these team meetings and in our lives every time you're able, babe. Because you're part of this too, and you're gonna help me with this when we get home, when you come home. I love you so much, Catherine.
I love you too, babe.
All right, I'll call you after the show. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up here.
Okay, sounds good.
Wow.
Bye, you guys.
Wonderful. Bye.
All right, let's wrap it up. Don't forget to follow our Facebook. Let me come back on camera. Shit. Don't forget to follow our Facebook pages and like them as well as subscribe to our YouTube, Rumble, and Twitter channels. And we also have a Telegram channel now, which is in the description, as well as a few others that we're working for, putting up every day. And subscribe to all our other podcast pages too, like The Box, which is going to be airing sometime next week, I believe. More on that later. So anyways, we hope you guys had a great broadcast or had a great view, and we hope you guys we hope this broadcast was useful to you and informed you in a way that helped you gain your power back, because that's what we're really about. So don't forget to also check out the bonfire stores. All the money that we get from that goes directly to the CPS Family Court Corruption Victims Fund. So that's for the victims of all these Lovises out here that are fighting and speaking out. So don't forget to do that. We will see you guys next week, and don't forget to check out our News for Us Fringe Division podcast on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central, and 5 p.m. Eastern. And then Tips, Techniques, and Survival Traits. This upcoming Friday, we're going to do a deep dive on the I think it's the NCBP proof that we had talked about in our last episode. So we're going to do a deep dive and go over all the actual PDF documents showing the H. Biden emails that are from the laptop that connect him to Rosemont Seneca and the other stuff going on. So we got the proof for there too, and it's going to be an exciting week, you guys. So we're looking forward to it. And then next Sunday we'll have Jaclyn Perkins on again, and she just was unable to make it because her son her son's a little sick. So we obviously want her to take care of her kid first, which we totally understand. But we look forward to having her read her full 8-page speech in next week's episode. So don't forget to keep up to date with what we're doing, and check out the News for Us World website. That's news4us.world. Good night, everybody.
Night.